we will still go back to oppression. Because if you are a Christian and you believe that heaven is better than on earth, you are supposed to be wiped away from earth so that you can have a good place in heaven to start living now, start investing now in where you want to live. So because other people have no interest in building their nation, they have interest to build heaven. You see? So that is why they're messing up with other people on earth. They're lying to you. Wanakuwekelea mkono kwambia Mungu atatenda. They are putting poverty in your mind. Yeah. Unajua kuna 3 organizations. 3 organizations zinafanya kazi pamoja. And the first organization in cultural organization, religious organization, and the government organization. You know, cultural systems, religious systems, and government systems. All these systems, they are meant to oppress people. Uliona juzi Ruto alikuwa na nani parliament? Nini inaitwaje? State House. Mapastors wa YPCA. Wao wako very exempted. Ni kama yani wanashindwa, vijana mnafanya nini? Like nyinyi mnafanya nini? Unaona? I think the government imeweka kanisa kwa mfuko. Na kanisa itaki kuongea because ushaweka kwa mfuko. Unaelewa? Now anything that the president speaks, kwa sababu iko kwa Biblia nasema kiongozi mwenye ako ndani amechaguliwa na nani? Na Mungu. Sasa hata akiwa oppress bali ni Mungu. Na ndio hivyo. So the government system kazi yake ni ku make sure ina please wale wenye inaweza ikatumia rais. Inatumia church because so many people wamesoma Biblia. So nataka kuambia Mkristo and more especially generation yangu tutoke kanisani. I tell you that this is for real. Mungu hayuko kanisani. Right now in the African churches, God is not in church. Church Kenya iko ni corrupt your mind. Alafu akwambie Mungu atatenda ukitoa pesa fulani. Na wewe unatoa na unakuwa na imani kubwa ukitoa. Karini unangoja Mungu atende mpaka unashindwa like what is going on? Unapata if the church ingekuwa ina serve the interest of God to the people, then atungekuwa kwa this state, because the church ingekuwa inasema enough is enough. This is not the kind of leadership that we want as a nation. A nation with 80% ni Wakristo. Unaona? So church fail. And right now church is the record of the past. Church is not embracing today. Especially sijui Kenya, niseme tu Kenya ni churches. Kenya ni churches Karim. Nikiangalia mapastors vitu wanaongea kanisani na vile wako, na pastors wengine siku hizi hata kuwataja majina, wanaombea wengine mabaya. Pastor anakaa naeka magoti chini, anaanza kuombea wengine mabaya. Alafu anasema in Jesus name. Ni siku gani Jesus aliombea watu mabaya? Leave that aside. The president jana ameongea. Huyu jamaa akiongea, number one, I want you to see how this system is working, Karim. Number one, Ruto akiongea anaongea na kiburi fulani, ni kama hata ni kama patani na watu wa media. Unaona? Ni kama yani wakimuuliza swali tayari ako na mentality kwamba nyinyi mnajua nini. Unaelewa? Ukimwangalia tu hivi, yani nyinyi mnaniuliza nini? You see? Ataki swali yenye ni intuitive. Nataka maswali ya tutafanya, tulikuwa tumepanga, tushafanya hivi. I don't know why people are like this.
Ama identify vitu kufanya.
That is not my interest. My interest ni at bottom up. Ukimuuliza bottom up imefanya nini? Kama wewe hujaona ni shauri yako, hiyo ndio anakujibu. Ukimwambia most Kenyans don't trust you, hiyo ni maneno yako bwana. Don't put words in their mouth. Tanasema Kenya, you know who is the president? A president is the representative of the people. So sisi what hatuwezi tukaongea, anaweza akafanya nini? Akaongea on behalf of our own interests, si ndio? The same case, the media wenye wanauliza swali, wamefanya analysis, wamefanya statistic, wamefanya collect information, si ndio? Now they are coming to ask the question representing who? The people, si ndio? He's not able to answer. Anakuwa very arrogant. Hiyo ni maneno yako. Ndugu yangu, hiyo ni maneno yako. That is the president Kenya have. An arrogant president. Ani amepewa tu mamlaka. I will still lead. Mtafanya nini? Unaelewa? That's the kind of leadership. That is the same case pastors anaweza ambia toka hapa. Pastor anaweza kuambia toka. Unasikia hata nganga bila naongeaga. Simtoke hapa muende. Very arrogant. Mapastors, angalia nganga, hata msikuje kanisa yangu. Yani pastors and the president same thing. Wamekuja kuwa arrogant all of a sudden. Pastors hawataki kujua ukweli. And do you know the same case? The president of Kenya hataki watu wajue ukweli. Na kama umejua ukweli, anajaribu jinsi awezavyo akuchanganya. Anajaribu, is a political scientist. Sasa hajui kila mtu amekuwa scientist. Everybody in Kenya is a politician. And every word you speak, we just see it, we analyze it, and we understand it, and we know who you are. The only thing watu wanaendelea kutafuta is how can we get rid of this enemy. Ruto is a traitor of his own people. Pastors are traitors of the Christians, of his own followers. Culture, sasa tukuje kwa culture. Culture, respect when the elders is speaking, don't talk. All along Karin tumekuwa like yenyewe mkubwa ameongea sifanye nini? Sifai kuongea. Tunanyamaza, wakubwa wetu wameongea. Wakubwa wetu wameongea. Sisi tufanye nini? Sisi tunyamaze tu. So tumekaa tukinyamaza, But now hao watu wanatuambia tunyamaze, they're not productive. They're not showing us the way. Life is getting very hard and they're not seeing it. Things are getting worse. They're not seeing it. Unapata these our fathers, our elders, culture yenyewe wana embrace mzungu kuliko wao wenyewe. Akiona mzungu, someone in America. That's what they are advising us. They don't even acknowledge and appreciate their own country. Unaona? Sasa niambie, culture imefanya watu wametoroka ushago, wamekuja kuishi matowns. Culture tu. Culture unapata iko na uchawi, iko na fitina, imefanya watu wamefanya nini? Wametoroka ushago. Church siku hizi imekuwa ni a corruption center. Si ndio? Corrupting the mind and enslaving the people's mind and the people's interest, people's growth is all tied up in church beliefs. Okay, now tukuje kwa presidents, high taxation. You see, poor management of resources, poor distribution of resources, mismanagement of resources, bringing agendas on the table that does not serve the interest of the people. You see, now tell me, huyu mwananchi amesukuma amefika kwa kona, what is this person going to do? That is the question we are asking ourselves. The president is, ukiangalia president, president amezeeka akili, yani sisi tunamwangalia tumuona kama mtoto mdogo, because Kenya na explain ni mtu wenye ni first year anafaa ku explain kitu kama hiyo. Actually as a high school leaver, the difference in English, but what he's explaining is basically a high school leaver. Hiyo ndio kitu anatuambia. We have plans, we are going to grow. You know, the Kenyans don't understand that this plan, they will regret taking down this finance bill. Okay, now listen.
I will explain to the mother of the
the very simple question. Huyo mtoto alinyeshewa marisasi ilikuwa 7 ama 7. What could you say? What will be your comment about this? And they says, kulikuwa na goons. And these goons walinyanganya, wali overwhelm nani? The police. And therefore wakanyanganya police bunduki, si ndio? And they are suspected to be the ones who shot the kid. Okay.
So what do you owe the mother?
So what do you? I'm going to explain to the mother, and as any other Kenyan who succumbed into death during this protest, I'm going to explain to the mother to do what?
I'm going to explain to the mother on what really happened.
On what really happened.
Then the next question was, what about the others in our G?
So
will you go and explain?
No, he didn't answer. Hakumuuliza. Kenya alijibu ni I'm going to explain to the mother. Unaona? Huyo tu peke yake. So what about hao wengine wote wamekufa? Will you meet their parents? Uwaelezee moja kwa moja, mtoto wako aliuliwa na polisi fulani, na kwa sababu aliuliwa na polisi fulani tutafunga huyo polisi. And so how is life compensated? Unaona? Like jamaa anajibu maswali kitoto sana. Unaelewa? Petty. The president we have a petty president. Anaulizwa tu swali rahisi like wakati niona kama ni muongo hivi ndio alisema. And the question came akaulizwa aje easy ma travelings, ma trips, manini. What about it now? Because you are saying we have to live within our means. And now what about this? And say that is why we will sit at the top. So you have been knowing this is a problem. You understand? Like, so you know this has been a problem, doing nothing about it. Karim, akiwa Kenya, like sijaiona mtu kama yeye. Na ni time yake ni sawa, wacha ajibambe. Lakini sasa unaona time yake atashangaa. He will never have peace. Trust me. Kila mapastors wale wanajielewa wamemwambia you will never have peace. You will never have peace. And I personally will tell you that if you oppress the people, no peace. You see, if you continue kukuwa na kiburi, no peace. That is it. Unaona, ana explain anasema ati mkiangusha hii finance bill, mkiangusha mtaregret sana because this is the best finance bill ever. Karini, I want you to analyze this. The country ni yetu, si ndio? We, according to the constitution gives mandate, gives responsibilities to the citizens. What we are supposed to do, what leaders are supposed to do, governors and every other person in the country. Unaona? Sasa sisi ni countrysmen, si ndio? We have no jobs and you want us to pay tax. How? Okay, now what if wale wenye wanafikiria wata invest from outside, wale ma investors wanakuja wa invest with the 20% interest, si ndio? What if they vacate? What if?
He hasn't thought about that.
Because wanasema yeah, it's the best. Mbona last time ilikuwa best? No, this is the best. So next year itakuwa most best. Ama itakuwa best of the best. You see, the kind of lies that is passed on every single time, and we are watching, we are seeing that what you are saying is actually broken. You see, now what if what you are saying, what you are planning is good? What if the citizens are not going to respond to it? Because now, for you to succeed in your plans, according to the nation, is you have to have the agreement with the countrysmen. Now, what if yes, the finance bill is okay? What if we don't agree with it? Because we are the ones to pay for that finance bill ikue poa. Si ndio? Hizi pesa kwanza zimewekwa wapi? Ni sawa, tutalipa, ni sawa, the finance bill is okay. But hizi pesa ziko thrown in kwake 4 billion sijui parliament 13 billion, sijui wapi ku renovation, sijui nini mabilion. Is that going to raise the economy? Yeah? That guy is totally a mess. And I'm valuing education. So I've invested a lot of money in education. Ndio tuone kwamba unajua vile hiyo ndio alitumia Mwai Kibaki. Education. Now, hii ndio Gen Z. Mtu si amesoma. Una value education ni sawa. So na graduate wapi kazi? Unaona, this kind of lies, we just need to stop it. You can't tell me that ndakusomesha. Ndio maana nakwambia, unaona, government, religion and culture, that's the same thing. Umejua mzazi anakuambia soma. Yeah. Amekutarisha kazi. Huyu sana kuambia I value education, si ndio? Kazi kwa. Kama sasa wale wamesoma hawana kazi. Sasa wale wako shule wakitoka, what assurance do we have that kutakuwa na job?
No assurance.
Kwani anataka kukaa for how long they create employment? Unaelewa? Sasa nakueleza kwamba this guy is a goon. This guy is I don't know the best word to explain, but I can say is a failed president. Yani ni mtu mwenye akona kizungu mingi, anafikiria yani ni kama mtoto high school. Akitoka high school anafikiria I'm going to get everything. I'm going to do this. Umetoka high school like una feel now nikienda sasa nitaenda Mombasa. I'm going to nipate madem, nipate machali. I'm going to party. I'm going to wear miniskirt kama ni day. Even though these guys just like a form 4 liver. You know, yani amefurahia nikiingia huko, maisha itakuwa ameingia huko planning to imemshinda. Do you know why? Kiburi. Yani anaona amesoma mpaka hao wakiplan anaona hamjaplan vizuri vile inafaa. Hamjaweka hii msingi vizuri. Hii tukiweka iko vizuri, na najua kwamba at the end of the day I am counted in. Unaelewa? So mimi naweza bia Mkenya hivi. Unajua nini? Wale wanasema vita ni mbaya, sijui tuache kuvandalize, sijui tuache nini. Nataka nikwambie kitu moja. Unaona kitu inaitwa freedom, kitu inaitwa economy haitawahi grow Kenya as long as we have churches. I'm telling you the truth. As long as we have president who value churches, church, kanisa. As long as we have the president who is greedy, who is self-centered, who does not listen na cooperate with other leaders, who has sweet words with no action. You see, a president who is always outside, just like a Cameroonian president who is always not present in his country. We will never grow. We will never, as a country, we will never grow. We will never have democracy. We will never have people to create companies and help their families grow until we wipe away churches. We wipe away culture. We wipe away the leadership that does not support the interest of the people. If we do that, then we can help our nation. But if we have groups which says president is okay, the other one says president is not okay, the other one says I don't care, the other one says mimi hata siko hapo, we will never achieve anything. That's the same case when you find Mr. President, the Gen Zs who go to the streets. We are all Gen Zs, but the interest that we're serving might not be the same, because we have those ones who are trying to use others for themselves' interest. Unaona? We have those ones who are spearheading the Gen Zs to continue with the protests. But for real, they have no interest with the Gen Zs, but the interest is to find a way to get to power. You understand? So we all have to ask ourselves, and I said this in the first video, that there is no revolution, there is no change if there is no leader who is noble. You see, so if we want to win the race, the change, the freedom that we want, the growth, and to make sure that we have a sustainable economic growth, then we have to find a noble leader who is going to lead the revolution and stick to one agenda. Our interest is not vandalizing properties. Our interest is not fighting against each other, but we have a common enemy that leadership in Kenya has totally failed, because their interest is to take loans to fund. Take loans to fund. Take loans to fund. Not really asking yourself, how can we live according to our means? If a president is paid 1 point something million, why can't we pay the president 800 million? Why can't we reduce the appetite of money? Why can't we ask ourselves on which sector that we are supposed to invest our money to have a great harvest at the end of the day? You see, so if we avoid straight, simple methods and questions which are supposed to provoke our thinking, definitely we will never achieve any change. We will still go back to oppression. We will still go back to oppression, because if you are a Christian and you believe that heaven is better than on earth, you are supposed to be wiped away from earth so that you can have a good place in heaven to start living now, start investing now in where you want to live. So because other people have no interest in building their nation, they have interest to build heaven. You see? So that is why they're messing up with other people on earth. They're lying to you. Wanakuwekelea mkono kwambia Mungu atatenda. They are putting poverty in your mind, and you say, thank you Lord for giving me poverty. Which God gives you, touches you and gives you poverty? That is what the pastors are doing. Hizo ndo ibada wanafanya usiku na mchana. As a Kenyan, you have to wake up. Na ujue kwamba you cannot. Kuna mzee fulani TikTok alikuwa ananiambia ati our problem is root. We are not supposed to talk about fights, elections and what. We are supposed, naona vile wazee wamepotea. They don't know anything, they don't know. Wengine ndio wanakunywa, wengine wako culture wa consume mpaka waone hata mbele wala nyuma. Now wana cut the tree from the top. Wanataka ioze yanguke. You see, which it is not going to happen. You understand? You have to look at all the way kwa ground. Nini nakula Kenya? Nini nasumbua Kenya? What can we do with this? You see? Then tuanze kuchimba pole pole, tukitoa those roots, dry up until mti ninginie yanguke peke yake. You understand? So if we cannot have a strategy, we will still keep on saying, oh, the government. Oh, the government. And the very important thing for us to achieve the growth, economic growth, even to sanitize politics, to detoxificate the poison that is in the churches, to make peace with the past, we have to know the true meaning of taking responsibility. That if you are above 18 years, by this time you're supposed to know how responsible you are supposed to be, which responsibilities you are supposed to take. So if parents are not going to teach their children on the matters responsibility and accountability, one president will oppress all of us. One stupid idea from the president is going to enslave every other person. President himself right now as we speak, he's doing human smuggling. Those who don't know that is transportation business ya binadamu. kutoa binadamu Kenya kuwapeleka huko for his own gains. He's doing human smuggling and nobody is talking about that. You see, watu wanatolewa in the name of now it's called expensive slavery. Unachukuliwa mpaka una sign nataka kuenda peke yako. Expensive slavery. I sign to be enslaved in US. I sign to be enslaved in. That is what is going on. So, my countrymen, I want to tell you this. Let us wake up. Let us do what? Let us wake up. If you cannot wake up, trust me, slavery will never end.